So you might have seen recently with the new Superman trailer, it's actually showing Superman in a different light. And fans are split online for this reason. If you look online on Facebook, I've personally seen it on Facebook, it's pretty funny actually, but in the new trailer or the new James Gunn Superman film, Superman, his design is a bit more human-like. You know, we can see in the trailer he's a bit more flawed and he's a bit more down to earth, and he's someone that has emotions, and he sort of needs help from humans. You know that one clip where he's being helped up from a little man. People aren't really happy with this design because, simply put it, they're not thinking that this is Superman. They're thinking that this is just some guy that doesn't have the characteristics of Superman. You know, he's just a guy with powers. And that's because the last Superman we had was the Henry Cavill, which was from the Snyder universe. And that's completely different to the James Gunn Superman that we currently have. So there's many problems that people find, but the main ones are pretty much the costume. They don't really like it because the suit feels a little baggy. It sort of like looks cheap and tacky. When they look at Superman's suit, they're looking at something that's sort of like, very powerful, very bold, something that can absorb Superman in himself. But looking at the red trunks, which is on the new Superman suit, fans feel it's sort of like cliche, sort of unnecessary, because the new Superman suit sort of feels as if it's like a costume on Superman. It doesn't feel like it's sort of like a part of Superman. And he doesn't really represent Superman. But this is debatable because people look online and they see that, he isn't someone that's very powerful, but he's someone that just has a lot of flaws. And we can see this in the trailer. Now, one thing that really struck people was was when Superman started blinking in the trailer when someone threw a piece of rubbish at him, and that literally got a lot of criticism. It got so much that in the trailer they removed that part because, I don't know, people they want Superman to be supernatural, like a superhuman, pretty much. And people want the movie to fail. Honestly, they don't want this to succeed because, think about it, if this succeeds, then this is the new Superman, and some people are unhappy that this is happening. So they want the Henry Cavill back. They want that, godlike, God amongst men Superman persona back. And there's also a part in the trailer. Oh no, there's a clip they've released as well, which shows that Superman being healed by the sun using like the radiation powers, and he's screaming in pain. And this caught a lot of people off guard because in the Batman vs Superman movie, when Superman gets healed by the sun, he's sort of absorbing it and he's becoming energized. But in this film, we see him sort of being damaged by it in a way. And that's gone to a lot of confusion. And people are sort of doubting James Gunn's ability to make a good Superman. And this is concerning because, we want this to succeed because we want the DC universe to be built. There's a lot of differences between the Snyder and the James Gunn Superman. Most being the theme that it portrays. Because in the Snyderverse, we see Superman as this like god. He's like an immortal. He has all these cool powers and he's, so elite, so amongst people. It sort of offers like a darker tone with the darker suit colors and all the dark themes. But in the James Gunn universe, Superman's sort of brighter, he's a bit more optimistic, he's lighter. He's almost as if he's the opposite of the Snyder Superman. And that's why fans are split on this decision. But I'll probably wait for the film to release so I can give my opinion, because I personally want this to succeed because it looks like a good film. And I think it'll go well, but I don't know, man. With the new Superman, it is sort of a different take. I wouldn't say it's a different take, but with the new Superman, it's sort of, you're going into a different direction for the live action. Because the Henry Cavill really set the scene, but now we're going in a different direction. But let's see how this turns out.